Hello, good morning. Welcome to Lisa Derby City. Today it's the 3rd of March 2026. The time is about 22:11 and it is another full moon. And it's the reason why it's quite significant because we also are in I have to make notes because I'm menopausal, we're also in a total lunar eclipse. So that means that the full moon will appear to be red in colour, like the colour of blood. And that's kind of like quite significant symbolically as well, because we also are, depending on your belief system, are in the year of the fire horse. And the fire horse will be kind of like, it's about passion, red, fire. So the colour red seems to be a bit of a running theme. And we all bleed red blood. And red can be associated with passion, desire. What's your motivation, your creativity? And also, depending on your cultural reference, some people will call the red moon the worm moon because that signifies the beginning of spring going forward. And then the ground will be thawing, so you start to see the little red worms. In other cultures, they might be known as the crow moon as well. So it all depends on your cultural term of reference, but I'm based in the UK and I'm known it to be honest as the worm moon or the blood moon. And again, it's about the cleansings. It's all symbolic. It's about that cleansing of energy or cutting cords and kind of like looking forward to the future and not looking back. Again, spring forward, and that's what we're doing. The days will be getting lighter. And then just to chuck it into the mix as well, we also have Mercury's in retrograde. I'm not an expert, but we know that Mercury is about communication, isn't there? So what you may notice, there will be issues with communication, lots of misunderstanding. There may be issues with technology devices as well. It's also not a good time to make any major life changing decisions. So it's kind of like if you can just hold, pause before you do anything like signing your life away or thinking I need a complete career change. It's kind of like wait for Mercury retrograde to be out before you make any decisions that will kind of like affect your whole life. But I'm going off on a tangent. So, like I said, it's a full moon in the UK. It's going to be around say 11:35 a.m. UK time. I also mentioned that it's kind of like a lunar eclipse, but we won't see it in the UK, Africa, or Europe. Maybe in the Americas you will see it, but we won't. And again, that's quite significant because it's about our perspective. But I am rambling on. So, long story short, it's just about kind of like energy. And that is my theme, isn't it? I'm into the energy exchange, which coincidentally I'm doing a second workshop on about protecting your energy. So I'm not going to be doing anything about manifestations, more about how to protect your energy. So I'm just going to get my cards, okay, and see what is the message from the moon because it's a full moon. Okay, so it's kind of like a decluttering. And this time of year, if you're based in the UK, it's about spring cleaning. And in a sense, metaphorically speaking, it's about a spring cleaning of your mindset. So out with the old and welcome the new. So let's see what we can pick up. So we've got Moon in Aries, which is quite apt because Aries is also a fire sign. And it says the message is remain sensitive to others to avoid confrontation. So that is quite apt because, like I mentioned about Mercury, that Mercury represents communication. And like what I also mentioned with Mercury, though, there will be issues with misunderstanding communication, like things either being delayed, lost in translation, technical issues. And people are going to be a bit more hypersensitive. So it's kind of like if you're going to communicate with someone of significance, then maybe to pause before you think. So that's the message with that particular card. And then I thought I'm going to use my ancestors and oracle cards. So what is the message for the collective? Let's see what we can pick up. So we've got Lady, okay. Can you see again, we've got the colour red with the apples. And also, if you look here, we've got kind of like a star as well. Lady in green as well. We've got the tree. Again, that's quite, it's symbols, isn't it? Looking at this, because this lady represents about fertility. It's about creation. It's about giving birth to life or an idea, a concept or an ideology. Then the apple from the tree is about knowledge, isn't it? So it's about increasing your knowledge. And then it's kind of like with the star and the seeds. It's about planting those seeds and literally watching those seeds bear fruit. And then green can be associated with nature and spring. So let's see what is the meaning of this. Okay, so bear with me. So we've got the lady. So let's see, what does the lady represent? Okay, so lady, let's see. What does the lady represent? Okay. So lady, enjoy growth and reap rewards. Reap what you have sown and enjoy the fruits of your labour. Grow and expand in all areas of your life. So the lady is known as the Empress in the traditional tarot. And she's also the representation of goddesses in her most female form. She is abundant, bountiful, and creative being. She's closely connected to nature because it's her child. She represents maternal energy and has more than enough love to give all those who need nurturing. Yet she is the representation of the goddess Venus too, and yearns for a rich relationship with her counterpart. So that would be the Lord. In this card, she holds an apple. It sees forms a perfect pentagram, which in paganism represents the 5 elements of life. So how apt is that? The elements of life. So it's kind of like the saying that we are the inhabitants of this earth that we inhabit. And this earth gives us all that we need. So we have a bountiful of supply. But of course, being human, we complicate that, don't we? But basically, it's kind of like follows that theme, isn't it? Spring forward, planting those seeds and watching those seeds bear fruit. Whether that's that actual child or an idea or a concept. And like what I mentioned earlier, it's kind of like out with the old, in with the new. It's a decluttering. It's about being kind of like, also to me, the other message is about to appreciate what we have in the era now. Because obviously, if you listen to the news or on various social media platforms, there's war going on. And it's kind of sad, really, because we all are inhabitants of the same planet. But yet we're divided by invisible borders and fighting for gold, oil. But again, I'm going off on a tangent. And I suppose we have the mindfulness cards. So just for a joke, let's see what's the message for the collective. And like I said before, It may not resonate with you. So take what does and what doesn't. Leave it behind. And just focus on the good bits. Enjoy a relaxing bath. Because we are all comprised of water, aren't we? About 2/3 of the body is water, meaning the human body. And I suppose that's the same with the earth as well. Water sustains us as well. Water, in a sense, is kind of like a fluid. It's almost like the blood of the planet. We need water. If you don't have water, you will die of thirst. Water is also symbolic because it's kind of like to cleanse as well. And I said about energy, you know me and my energy. So it's to cleanse the negative and to wash anew with fresh, positive energy. And that's it. I'm just going to keep it short and sweet because I know I'm rambling as per usual. But I hope you got the general message. Ooh. Let's see what else I've got here. I am a source of strength and resilience. So that's what we all are, aren't we? We are a source of our own strength and resilience. And that's it, guys. I hope that made sense to you today. Enjoy whatever you're doing. Thank you for your continual support of Lisa Derby City. Take care and have a good day. Lisa Derby City. Namaste.